Okay, welcome back. In last section, we discussed about date functions and couple of other functions, date functions and aggregate functions, joins, and so on. Most of the concepts, basic concepts of SQL Server are covered. So in today's session, we're going to discuss about numeric functions, string functions, and any metadata functions and system functions, which are not of high priority, but numeric functions and string functions are very important. So let's see a couple of string functions and numeric functions and the remaining two types of functions in today's session. So one small change here, the queries are already ready. I mean, yesterday I have written these queries for some other purpose, and hence the queries are ready. It will reduce some overhead on me. Why? Because I don't need to write the queries, I can simply execute it. So even our session will move faster today. We can cover a lot of functions today. Okay, let's start with numeric functions. The first and foremost numeric function which we have to see is absolute, ABS, of some integer value. Okay, what absolute will do is absolute will return the positive value. Even though if you pass negative, it will give you the absolute value. That means the positive value of the same. And if you pass positive value, it will return the same positive value. Apart from that, it is not gonna do anything. Okay, for example, this is absolute of -5. I'm passing the value absolute of -5, and if I execute that, the value that is coming is +5. So this is the absolute value of -5, and now I'm going to execute the absolute value of 5. So it is returning me 5. Why? Because it will not have any change. Why? Because absolute value will change the negative values to positive values. Now I'm executing both to demonstrate the same absolute function, and you can see both are returning positive value 5. As I told you in last sessions, and now also I'm repeating the same, you can apply the absolute function or any function to the columns or some hard-coded values like this. This is the example for hard-coded values, the one which I'm highlighting now, and this is the example for applying the same function to a column. Number of days is a column that is available in the table leave details. So before going to that, let's see what's there in the leave details. Mainly in the column number of days. Actually, it is saying that there is no table called leave details. This is because I'm pointing to the database master. So all the tables are created in the database name MSBI. So here you can see the number of days. Everything is positive except the last one. The last one is a negative value. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to execute the absolute function for the column number of days, and to make the things better, I mean easy to find out, I'm calling the column also. So what I'm doing, this query is going to return two columns. One is number of days and the absolute value of the number of days column. Let's see, this is the value and this is the absolute value. In the same way, everything will remain the same except the last one where the value is -4. The -4 is changed to +4. So this is the absolute function. Okay, and the next function is ceiling. Ceiling is nothing but if you pass any floating value or decimal value, both are one the same. So if you pass any value with decimal points, what the ceiling will do is it will give you the next highest integer value. So 4.1 will come between the smallest integer is 4, the next smallest integer is 4, and the next highest integer is 5. So if I execute the function, the statement select ceiling of 4.1, that is gonna return me the next highest integer, that is 5. So this is how the ceiling works. Ceiling gives the next highest integer. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give ceiling of -4.1. The next highest integer for -4.1 is -4, and hence it will return the value -4. So minus values, I think you are pretty much aware of it. The less the number, the more the value. Okay, now I'm executing the two queries. You can see 4.1 ceiling is 5 and -4.1 ceiling value is -4. Next one is exponential, e power 1, e power 2. You might have read this long back when you were in 7th standard or 8th standard. E power 1, e power 2, e power 3 and so on. So e power 10, if you want to calculate the power of e value like this, which represents in this format what I've written there, e power 1 and e power 10, what you can do is the function exp, that means exponential function, will be useful. If you execute this, select e in brackets, you have to pass the integer. What is the exponent value you want to give, you have to pass in the brackets as input parameters to the function, and if you execute this, it will give you the value of e power 1. So whenever you are working on some statistics, trigonometry, I don't know where it comes exactly, I forgot the concepts of this mathematics and all. So whenever you need to find out e power 1 or e power 10, then you can go for this exponential exp function that is available in SQL Server. The next one is floor, which is quite opposite to the function ceiling. Ceiling will give you the next highest integer, whereas floor will give you the next smallest integer. What is the smallest integer when compared to, if you next the smallest integer for 4.1, it will be 4. So that's why this is how you can call select a ceiling. Sorry, this is giving 5. Why? Because I have written it as floor ceiling. So now I have given it as floor. You can see it is returning the next smallest integer. So here also I have to call floor function, not the ceiling one. So the next smallest integer for minus 4.1 is minus 5. It's not minus 4. So you can see the same. This is repeated. Fine. Now let me execute both the queries. You can see the floor of 4.1 is 4 and the floor of minus 4.1 is minus 5. So this is the floor function, which is opposite to the ceiling function. Now let's see the log function. Everyone is aware of these logarithms and all, most irritating concepts, right? At least for me, I can say. So what log of 1 will do? The log of 1 will give there is a base and all, right? I don't remember it exactly. It will be like this: log 1 to the base e, I think. I'm not 100% sure, exponent something, and log 10 to the base e. So these kind of calculation, there is some functionality, there is some formula to calculate these values. So now here in SQL Server, they provided two functions. One is log and another one is log of 10. What log will do is, if you pass any value, it will calculate the log 1 to the base e in this case. And here log 10 to the base e. It is going to give log 10 to the base e. So if you want to calculate any logarithms related calculations, then you can go for this log function. Similar to log function will go for the base e. You can see here the base is e. Here also the base is e. Okay. If you go for log 10 function, the log 10 function will be base to the 10, not e. So log 10 to the 10 is 1. This is the one I know. And log 10 to the 100 to the 10, it will be 2. So this is how you can use log and log 10 function to calculate logarithm values. And there is one more, that is 1000, it will be 3. It is nothing but log 10 to the power of 3 base 10. So this one will become 3 into, let me write the formula, I don't remember it, but let me try. Log 10 to the power of 3, let me show that here, 10 to the power of 3 base to the 3. I'm writing base here, I cannot write immediately. So that equal to 3 into log 10 to the base 10. So log 10 to the base 10 is equal to 1. So that becomes 3 into 1, that is equal to 3. This is how the log calculates. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not master in the technology. Sorry, in that subject. So I still remember this concept at least. Okay, this is how you can use log and log 10 functions to calculate the logarithm related stuff. And the next one, pi 3.14, this is a constant. Okay, for to calculate pi they have taken so many years. This is what I heard. So the pi function will return the pi value. What is the pi value? Select pi, that's it. If you execute this, it will give you the pi value, that is 3.141519265358979. So you can use this pi whenever you want to calculate some pi value into some number of days. Let's say this is the query. Select pi means it is going to return this value into number of days. Let's say we have 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, something like that. So if you want to use the pi value in your calculations whenever you are moving the data, whenever you are inserting the data, depends on your case, depends on your requirement. So in that case, instead of hard coding it to 3.14 something, you can go for pi function to make use of the pi value. Here if you see the output, the pi value is multiplied with the number of days and it is returning the value what you are seeing on the screen. Next, power. This is very important one. X to the power of y. Very interesting calculations. X to the power of y. That means, let's say 2 to the power of 3, 2 is x and 3 is y. 2 is called base and 3 is exponent as far as I remember. So 2 to the power of 3 means it is nothing but 2 into 2, 3 times. So the value of 2 to the power of 3 is 2 2s are 4 and 4 2s are 8. So let's see, and let's try to calculate the same using the power function. Here I am giving power of 2 comma 5, that is 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2, that output is 32. 2 2s are 4, 4 2s are 8, 8 2s are 16 and 16 2s are 32. This is how the power will be calculated using power function. Now what I am doing here is power 2 to the power of 50, it is going to automatic overflow, very pretty big value it seems. Let me go for 15. So 3 2 7 6 8. This is how you can use the power function, and you can, I mean, this arithmetic overflow and all, what the value that it is returning is the bigger than the integer, so you can convert it. We will discuss about all those things in coming sessions whenever we discuss about convert functions. Okay. Now the next one is rand function. Rand function is nothing but random. What it will do is it will return a random value between 0 and 1. It is gonna, between 0 and 1 means 0 is the smallest integer, and next, I mean, 0 is the starting point and 1 is the next integer, immediate integer. So the value in between this one is always floating value. That means 0 point something, 0 point some 3456 or 0.9732. So whenever you execute this, it will give you a random value between 0 and 1. The value that it is going to return is will fall between 0 and 1. If you see this, the output that it is showing is 0.184942 blah blah blah. That means it falls between 0 and 1. Now it is giving another value between 0 and 1. Now another value between 0 and 1. So it will be giving a random value between 0 and 1. And where you need this, I don't have any clue, but whenever you need to get a random value between 0 and 1, make use of it. Okay, this is the use of a random function. The next one, most important and most frequently used function in SQL Server, that is round function. What round function will do? Round function, it will round to the number of decimals whatever we specify here. Let's say I have given 3 here. That means 3 decimals after the point, after the dot, will be rounded. That is 5645 will be rounded to 565. And now I'm giving 2 for the same number, so it will be rounded to 2 decimals. And now this is the funniest part, I'm giving -1. So what it will do is it will round to the 1 decimal, that is from left hand side of the dot. If it is positive, then it will count from the last value, that is after decimal point, and if it is minus values, then it will round the main integer part of it, not the decimal part of it. Okay, this goes up to this point. Everything up to here will be rounded. If I give -1, it will round up to here. So let me execute this and show you. Now it has rounded to the last value. Okay, so this is how the round function works. Now let's see the row count underscore big. So row count underscore big, this is just like count function. You have seen the count function, right? Count and the count underscore big functions. What count and count underscore big function will do is it will calculate the number of rows that are present in that are gonna written as part of your select statement. Let me demonstrate that one too. Let's say select count of star from leave details. So what it is going to do is how many records are there in the leave details table, it is going to retrieve that. But in this row count underscore big, what it is going to do is how many rows affected, how many rows written by the last query, last executed query. If I execute this part now, what is the last executed query? The last executed query is nothing but the select count of star from leave details, what I have executed to see the count, and the number of rows that it returned is just 1. You can see here on the right hand side bottom the number of rows is 1. So if I execute this one now, it is going to return me 1. That means only one row affected by the last executed query. Now I'm doing one thing. I'm executing this complete table. So it returned 10 rows. You can see on the right hand side bottom, it is showing 10 rows returned to the result set. Now if I execute this, it is going to show you 10. What it means, it is going to give you the last executed query result records count. How many records were written by the last executed query before we execute this row count underscore big function. This is pretty useful one if you want to see how many rows affected. Sometimes whenever you are working on stored process, you need to know whether 10 rows affected or 15 rows affected by a statement, select statement. If 10 rows affected, you can have your separate functionality, and if 5 rows affected, different functionality. So to find out how many rows affected, you need this row count underscore big function. Next one is square root. The most irritating subject in mathematics, how to find out the square roots. Generally in examinations, people don't give the question like try to find out square root of 9. They'll give some pretty odd number to find out the square root. That's why I hate the square roots. Okay, and it is very difficult to calculate. That's why. Now, what square root will do? Square root will give you the what value square will make this 9, whatever you pass. 9 is nothing but 3 into 3 square. So the output is 3. Square root of 3. How you represent the square root in mathematics? As far as I remember, it's like this. Square root of 3. Square root of 9. That is equal to square root of 3 square. And this square and this one will be cut. The output is equal to 3. So this is how the square root is calculated. Okay, and the same output you can see if I execute this function, square root of 9, that is equal to 3. In the same way, square root of some value, it is showing 30746.1435793.174. So this is how the square root functions can be used to find out the square root of any value. So these are all the different numeric functions which you need to know, which you need to remember to work on SQL Server. Okay, and there are a couple of other numeric functions which are not of high priority, but whenever you need it, like a tan theta, cos theta, and a cos b, a tan, a sin, you don't use it that frequently. Okay, whatever the functions we discussed are more than enough to have an idea. If you have an idea on these functions, whatever we discussed, that is more than enough to work on SQL Server. If you need any other function apart from this, then you can go for it, check it, and you can implement it on need basis. Now let's jump into string functions. String functions deals what it is going to return. First, char is a string function which will take in integer value, that is ASCII value, and it will return the ASCII code, ASCII character of that. You know about ASCII values. It starts with 65 and then it goes to 190 something. And for every character, for capital A there will be an ASCII value, for capital B there will be an ASCII value, for / there is an ASCII value, for / there is an ASCII value. So ASCII code, if you want to get that ASCII code, you have to use this char function. Select char of, give some integer, it will pass whatever the integer that is present in that, whatever the character that is present for the ASCII code that you are passing. And next I'm passing 99. The ASCII code 99 belongs to the character small c, small letter c. So this is how you can pass integer values, or ASCII codes in other words, to get the character value that represent the particular ASCII code. Okay, this is how. Now let's see how to pass the character and get the ASCII code. If I want to find out the ASCII code of the character small capital A, then I have to use the function ASCII, ASCII. That means it is going to return me ASCII code of that. The ASCII code of capital A is 65, and here if I pass ASCII code 65, it is returning A, exactly opposite. Okay, now ASCII of Z, it is 90, ASCII of underscore, it is 95, and you can try a couple of other things like let me try with hyphen, it is 45. So this is how you can use ASCII function to get the ASCII code of any particular character. Okay, now the next one, let's see the char index. Char index will take two string values and it will try to find out for the first string value in the second one and what is the index from where it is starting. If you ask me from where this OOP is starting in this particular second string, then I will say first character is R and second character is O, third character is O, and fourth character is P. This is what I'm looking for. So this is starting from 2. In the same way, in the second case, P is starting at 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I execute these two, the first one will return 2 and the second one will return 4. What will happen if I pass some character which is not present in the string? This is pretty interesting. You need this. You need to know what it is gonna return. So it is gonna return 0. That means the code, the particular code string, whatever you are passing, is not present in the second string. So how this one will be useful in the real-time case? Most of the cases you will be checking like this. If IND is present in the second string, so that means few guys will write India and few guys will write only IND. Few guys will enter the data in full form like Hyderabad. Few guys will write HYD. Let's see if char index of Hyderabad HYD, comma, in the second string, in the Hyderabad is greater than 0. That means that is present. Then write the name as Hyderabad. Print. Else don't print anything. Print this is not Hyderabad. This is a little bit of coding part. Don't worry about it. We'll come to everything. We will discuss about all this. So what it is going to do here is, if char index of Hyderabad, this particular string is present in this part, then the char index will be greater than 0. That means either it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or something. It will be greater than 0. That means this part is present in this part. That means this is Hyderabad. Whatever you are passing is Hyderabad. And else this is not Hyderabad. So this is how to check these kind of conditions. You need char index. function. And you can see, and one more important thing about this char index is if the character is repeated again and again, it will give you the first occurrence when it is occurring for the first time. If you see ROOP first time occurring, therefore P is the fourth position, so it is returning 4, and it won't bother about the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th positions in which we have the same character that we're passing in the first parameter, that is P. Okay, so this is how the char index can be used. The next one is very funniest. If you want to know how much difference between two strings, how much difference the pronunciation, the spell and everything, then you can use this difference function. This difference function returns better either 0, 1, 2 or 3 or 4. So it starts like this. 0 is the minimum matching, 4 is the best matching, and 2 and 3 and 1 are intermediate. Let's see Rupesh and Lokesh, it is returning 2, that is okay, it's intermediate. Okay, half of the code is matching. Rupesh to Vinay, the matching is very less here. Might be it is checking for the characters, it is 5 and it is 7, so characters is matching very close, and apart from that I don't see anything that is matching here. And it will have one algorithm. Based on that algorithm, it will. Rupesh to Srilata, it is saying nothing is matching here. Rupesh to Rupesh, it should be 100, that is 4, fully matching. So this is how the difference function will find out whether it is same or different, how much similar the values are, the string 1 and the string 2, whether these two are similar or not. Let's try to give one thing. I'll give Hyderabad and Hyderabad. You'll be shocked by seeing the result, I guess. It is C, it's 2. The complete string of the first one is present in the second one, but second one is having extra part. So this is how you can use the difference function to find out whether it is a similar word or entirely different word. Okay. Let's see the next string function, that is left. Left function will give you the length whatever you specify here, that many characters starting from 0. Sorry, starting from 1, the first character to the number of characters that I specified. In this case, the left of Rupesh, 3, that means what it has to return? It has to return the 3 characters from the left hand side, that is ROO. Let me execute this. Yep, it is returning the same ROO. What will happen if I give 7? It is returning everything. That means Rupesh has 7 characters and hence it is returning the 7 characters. If I give more than 7 characters but the string is having 7 characters, it is not going to throw error. It will try to find the maximum number of characters. It will try to get the 10, but only 7 are available. Fine, no issues. It will get only 7. So this is how the left function works. Left function, basically what it do, it will start from the left hand side and get the number of characters that you specified here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to specify 0 characters from left. So it is coming 0. It is not getting any character. So this is how the left function works. The opposite to the left function is right. So what right function will do, you can easily guess this function. Right function is going to give you right characters from the right hand side, and the length whatever we specified there. I have given 3. That means that's why it is giving ESH, that is last 3 characters. Here it will be 7, that is full name. Here it will be 10, that should be full name. And here I'm going to execute 0 part. It should be 0. Okay. And as I told you earlier, you can apply these functions to any columns. And here I'm taking the right function on a column, employee name, and getting the 3 characters. So this is the Rupesh, this is the Lokesh, 3 characters from the right hand side, and Vinay 3 characters, Venki 3 characters, and Prasad 3 characters. I mean, it is getting, I have given right function here. So I've used right function and hence it is getting 3 characters from the right hand side. The next function is length. What it will do is it will give the length of the string. How many characters are there? 7 characters in the name Rupesh. So it is returning 7. So len is the short form of the length function, and length function will return the number of characters that are present in the string whatever we passed. And the second one, here I am passing a column name, employee name. You can see the Rupesh has 7 characters returning 7. Lokesh has 6, returning 6. Vinay has 5, Venki has 5, and Prasad has 6, and hence it is returning the length of each column, each row value of the column whatever we specified here. Okay, so this is how the length function works. The next function is lower. I am passing capital letters here. You can clearly see ROOPESH is in capital letters. This lower function will convert the caps to lowercase and returns the same string whatever you passed in the lowercase. And here I am passing Rupesh Babu in caps, and it is giving me Rupesh Babu in small lowercase. So this is the use of lower function. Lower function will convert the uppercase to the lowercase. Okay. If I have couple of things in uppercase and couple of things in lowercase, let's say like this B I'm having in small and lowercase and U in small lowercase, it won't bother. It will find out what are all the uppercase characters that are present, and it will convert to the lowercase. Next one is uppercase. This is opposite to the lowercase. Yeah, I mean you can easily understand lower to upper and upper to lower. If you want to convert to lower, use lower function. If you want to convert to upper, use upper function. So I'm executing upper of Rupesh. It is giving me cap in caps. So let me do one thing. I will execute this upper function on the column. Employee name from employee. I know I have a lot of employee names in this and everything is in lowercase. Now let's see, everything is converted to the uppercase and it is returning in uppercase letters. Uppercase, the names are returning in uppercase. So this is how the lowercase and uppercase can be used to convert either to lower or to the upper case. The next function is ltrim. Ltrim will make sure that the left hand side space, if there is any space, if the string is starting with a space, it will truncate that. Intentionally I injected space after Rupesh and before Rupesh. So the ltrim will make sure that it will truncate the left hand side part. You can see it is returning some string output here, and you can see the left hand side space is truncated. There is no space. You can see the same. I will do one thing. I copied the string here, and I've taken double quotes into single quotes and I'm copying inside that. So if you see, the right hand side space is still remaining, but the left hand side space is truncated. So this is how you can use to truncate if there is any space at the start of the string whatever you are passing. So this ltrim function is very useful to trim the function, to trim the space on the left hand side or at the starting of the string, I can say. Rtrim is opposite to the ltrim. Rtrim will truncate the space on the right hand side. I'm executing the same query again. You can see the left hand side space still remains same here, but the right hand side space is truncated. To show the same, I'm taking the single quotes again. I deleted the content that is present in it and I copied it. You can see the left hand side space is still there, but the right hand side space is not there. It is truncated. So the trim part will trim the space. If there is any space, it will trim the space. Now how to trim it? Use ltrim and rtrim. The output will be full, it's on both sides trimmed string. You can see I copied this one. I'm deleting the existing string in between the single quotes and I'm copying the freshly copied one. You can see the left hand side space and the right hand side space are trim. So this is how you can use the trim function, I mean ltrim and rtrim, to trim on the both hand sides. Now this is about a couple of functions in the container of string functions. Let's see a couple of functions, I mean more functions in strings. The next one what we can discuss is replace function. Replace is pretty useful one. Replace, it will take string 1, string 2, string 3. So it will take 3 parameters. So what it is gonna do now? So what it will do is it will take the first string, sorry, it will take the second string and search for that in the first string, and if it finds, then it will replace that content with the third string. Funny, right? So let's see. Okay. So I'm writing a statement by using a replace function. The first string is Rupesh. The second string is I'm giving ROO, or simply, yeah, let's say ROO. And the third string is LO. So can you go for a guess what will be the output of this? So it will get the second string, that is ROO, and it will check in the first string whether ROO is present or not. Yes, it is present, and first 3 characters are ROO. So what it will do, yes, when it decides that it is present in the first string, when it finds that, then it will go to the third string and it will get this LO, whatever the string value that is there, and it will replace this ROO in that is find with the LO. If I execute this, the Rupesh has become Lopesh. Why? Because ROO, the one which I have given in as part of the second string, is found in the first string, and hence it is replaced with the third string whatever we passed. So let me try a couple of other examples. Chase, and if I want to replace C with L, I don't know what it will form. So LHAC, it replaces the C with L. Now what I'm gonna do here is, Rupesh is a trainer, but not the best bet. I've given pretty big string, and here what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take, let's say I'm taking B. Okay, I want to replace B with T. Let's see what it is gonna happen. So Rupesh is a trainer, tut. Why? Because B is replaced with T, not the best has become test, bet has become tet. So this is how you can use the replace function. The replace function replaces all the occurrences. It won't bother about only one occurrence. It replaces all the occurrence of the second string with the third string in the first string. Okay, this is about the replace function. Let's see one funny function. The funny function is replicate. Replicate will take a string as first value and integer as the second value. So replicate, what is meant by replication part? Copy and paste, what you people will do in the examinations. Most famous for copy. Replicate, whatever the person who is sitting in front of you or beside you, you will replicate the same in your answer sheets if you don't know the answer, right? So let's see how this replicate works with an example. Select, replicate, sorry, this has become duplicate. You can see the function here, replicate. I want to replicate string A 100 times. So what it will do is, whatever the string I have given in the first value, first parameter value, that is A in this case, will be replicated 100 times. And you can see the string is replicated 100 times. Okay. Now using this, it is very easy to write the punishments. So I won't come late to classes. I won't laugh in the class. These kind of punishments you might have got when you were studying in second standard or third standard. So if you want to do the same kind of replication job, Rupesh is not a good trainer. If you want to replicate it 100 times, do it. You can see it is repeated 100 times and there is no space. So if I give space, it looks even better. So Rupesh is not a good trainer, Rupesh is not a good trainer. And if you want to give some dot dot for every string, then you can do the same. So whatever the string value that you are going to give in the first thing, first parameter value, that one will be replicated the number of times you have given in the number you have given in the second parameter. So this is about the replicate function. Now let's see the another function, reverse. Reverse of, it's just take one string. What it is gonna do? The name says it is gonna reverse the string whatever you are specifying. Select reverse of. I'm giving the string. I am not a trainer. So what it is gonna do? It is gonna reverse the same. RENIART space A space ton space ma space I. That is nothing but it reverse the thing. So I will apply the same now for a column. Reverse of, what is the column name? Employee name from employee table. Let's see what it is gonna return. You can see all the names are reversed here. So this is how you can use the reverse function to reverse the characters. Okay, fine. Now let's see str function. Str function is generally used to convert the floating values to string values. If you have floating values like 3.1423, something like that, and if you specify the length, how much length you have to convert in when you are converting it into the character types or string type, then you can use the function str. So let's see how it works. Select str. What I'm doing here is I'm giving 3.456, okay, comma, I want the length of 4. Actually, the third parameter is not mandatory. The D parameter, the decimal value I said, right, that is not parameter, no, that is not mandatory here. So what it will do is, if I execute this, this one will convert to a string value. Now the output of this one is string. It converts the floating value to string value. Now if I am giving 2 decimal points, now you can see the string length will be 4, but in that I am asking for decimals. If you don't give decimals, it won't come. If you give decimal point, I want 2 decimals, then it will come up to the 2 decimals. What will happen if I don't have any decimal values, and if I give as 6, in that I want 2 decimals, then what will be the output? I mean, there is no decimal values there. Still it is showing, it is taking 0 as the decimal. And remember one important point, if I give the length as 6, it will take the 6 characters, that is 3 is 1 character, 4 is 1 character, 5 is 1 character, 6 is 1 character, dot is 1 character, that is decimal point is 1 character, and 0 is 1 character. So, and in that it will make sure it will get 2 decimals. But the length is already full. The length whatever we specified is full. That's why it is not possible. So if I give 7, you can see the 2 decimals coming. The total string length is 7. In that it is, we are asking for 2 decimal points. So this is how we can use the string function to convert the floating values into the string values. Why you have to convert the floating value into string value? If you want to concatenate some string like rupees, 3.3456.00 rupees, it should be in string. You cannot concatenate string and floating values. So I will explain you about the concatenation part. It will come as part of our sessions. Okay. Next one. Let's see what we can go for. The next one is stuff function. Oops. Let's see how the stuff function will work. What is meant by stuffing? Stuffing means adding something into the middle, like recently stuffed garlic bread, my favorite dish, my favorite item in Domino's. So stuff function, what it will do is stuff function will take two strings, string 1 and starting point, ending point, string 2. So what it will do is it will take the string 1, it will take the starting point from the string 1 and ending point from the string 1 and replace the part with the string 2. I will demonstrate in an example so that you can easily understand. Select stuff of, the string 1 is Rupesh trainer. Okay, the starting point in the string is 8th position and ending point is 9th position, or let me go for the same 8th position. So the 8th position, that is, what is the 8th position here? R is 1, O is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. It is space. So I want to replace the space with a space is a, again a space. So what will be the end output? Can't you go for a guess? Rupesh is a, where is the trainer coming? So the trainer is missing here. Let me check that. Wait a second. Oops, my apologies. Actually, I've given ending point as 9. So the starting point is 8 is fine. 8 is starting point. From here, how many characters you want to replace? So if I give 9, 1 character, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is why everything is getting replaced. So from a starting point 8, I just want to replace 0 characters. I don't want to go for anything else. Now you can see that means 8th point is the starting point and from there 0, that is the first one. That's it. It is not gonna take anything. If I give 5, what it is gonna do? It is gonna replace 5 characters. You can see up to here it is gone. From space it is gone to 5 characters and replaced with is a with spaces in the starting and the ending point. So this stuff function, what it will do is it will take the first string, it will take the starting point from where it has to start the stuffing part, and it will take the end point as the how many characters from the starting point. It is not the end character, it is how many characters from the starting point you have given. I have given 8 here in this case. That means from here how many characters you want to go and replace it. I want to go for 5 characters. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This 5 will be replaced with the word string what I have given as the last parameter. So this is how you can use the substring function. Sorry, I'm extremely sorry. Stuff function. The next function is, let's say, substring. Substring is nothing but a part of string or subset of a string. Let's say I have a string, okay, and starting point and length. So in the string whatever I'm gonna give, from this point take the length of the string whatever I'm specifying here, like select substring of the string Rupesh is a trainer. I want to start from 9th character, comma, I want to get till 15th character. Okay, if I execute this, what it is going to do is it will start from the 9th character, that is E, and it will get up to the 15th character. Okay, sorry, length is 15 characters. Let me give length as 2 to 3, which will be easy for easy to understand. Then you can go for bigger lengths. So I have given 5. You can see I is 1 character, S is 1 character, that is starting from 9th. space is one character, A is one character, and again a space is another character. If you give it as 6, you can get the next character after space also. Can you see? The first case, I'm getting 5, in that 2 are spaces. In the second case, I'm getting 6, in that 2 are spaces. So this is how you can get the substring. If you want to get the piece of the code or substring of a string that you are passing, then you can use it. Let's apply the same to a column. Select substring of column name is employee name, starting point is 2, from there I want 3 characters from the table employee. If you see, everything starts with the character 2 and it is returning up to the 3 characters. If I give 3, it will change. It will start from the third character and it will get up to the from there it will get the 3 characters. So it is what it is going to do is it is going to get the substring, subset of the main string value. Okay, so this is about the different string functions, important string functions that are available in SQL Server. Now actually we don't need to know about system functions and the other one, metadata functions, at this point of time. Why? Because you are not familiar with the DB concepts, like what is a null and how can replace the nulls, is null, new ID. There are so many functions related to the system and metadata which are not so important today. At this point of time, once you become familiar with the concepts like logging into the SQL Server, writing simple queries or writing joins, writing group by statements, and once you have practiced a couple of statements, and if you go forward further with the MSBI concepts, then once you feel once we feel that we're comfortable with the SQL Server basic concepts, then we can jump back into metadata functions and the system functions, and we can cover it as part of the advanced concepts of the SQL Server. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put an end for SQL Server basics concepts here, and from next session we're going to start with Microsoft BI tools. And firstly we're starting SQL Server analysis services, followed by MDX, and then SQL Server reporting services, and we will jump back into the SQL Server advanced concepts which are very important for SSIS, that is SQL Server integration services. So the flow will be like this: SSAS, MDX, SSRS, and then SQL Server advanced concepts, and finally SSIS, SQL Server integration services. So for learning SQL Server integration services, you need a good grip on SQL Server. So the next day if I start working on explaining or taking sessions on SSIS part, I don't think you will have a good grip on SQL Server. That may create problems. Okay, that may create you will feel difficulty in understanding the SSIS concepts. If I say I'm using stored procedures, I'm going to write some complex queries using group bys or a couple of joins, so it may mislead you, or it may you may not able to grasp everything whatever I'm explaining. So better start with SSIS, where you need very little bit of SQL Server. Whatever we discussed is more than enough for that. And then SSRS, even there you need just little bit, not more than that. And finally we can come back to advanced and then SSIS part. Okay, thank you very much, and catch you in next session.